Hello everybody, welcome to 54 Nights. So, Mom asked us if we were behaving ourselves. You know, it's been 11-day stretch of temperatures below freezing. We haven't broke 32 degrees in 11 days.
Yesterday we did.
No. Officially,
oh, 30. It was
not.
32. Okay.
Officially, we did not, because at Will Rogers Airport, where the official temperature is taken, we didn't break freezing.
That's where the officials are, apparently.
So 11 days of officially not breaking freezing. And we had like 2 days of snow, so over a foot of snow.
I think we had 3 days.
Yeah, it was over a foot of snow, even there at that, which in Oklahoma, by the way, is like, that's apocalyptic type measurements.
And in Texas, of course, Texas had it worse because of their grid system.
Yeah. Well, Texas had it worse because the snow to them is like something they see in postcards.
Yeah.
But it's there's still snow everywhere, and you know, it's like a perfect day to sit around and watch movies or do nothing because it's too darn cold to go outside and do any work. And then Mom has to ask us if we're behaving ourselves. This is your fault, Mom. We can't behave ourselves. That's too adultish. So we're going to head out and just kind of explore the landscape and look at Oklahoma covered in snow.
And I mean, we are campers, so you're supposed to travel, right? If you're campers.
Yeah.
It's in the blood.
So we can go see the ice thingy up north, or we can go down to Sulphur and check out the recreational area in snow.
Okay.
Which one?
Okay.
As you can see, we haven't made up our mind.
Hey, that divot filled in. Good, we got somebody shoveling snow. That's even better.
Center up towards, I think it's Hennessy, Oklahoma. He's been doing this for quite a few years. It's been probably a decade since we saw it last time. Yeah. And there's this little metal structure around the water pipe, and when it's going to be below freezing, he turns it on, and this is probably one of the tallest ones we've seen in a long time.
Well, there was a lot of freezing to be had.
Yeah, 11 days of it, so it's pretty cool.
Flip this down, make sure it's recording. Okay, so there are lights. It is recording, good. But don't slip. I mean, he went, I do not know how he caught himself. It was crazy. Wow, it's beautiful.
Can't see when you pull your sunglasses off.
Yeah, I had to make sure of getting this.
How many times I've been through that one?
Oh, I can't see anything. My glasses are all fogged up.
A couple of weeks ago, we were talking about the YouTube couple that got fined for recording in a national park, recording video in a national park. They got threatened with jail time or a $1,000 fine. Of course, they ended up paying the $1,000 fine, I believe. And it seems like over the years, the National Park Service has been doing that quite a bit. But when the people that get the notification, some of them have been getting lawyers, and when lawyers get involved, the National Park Service has been dropping it. Which kind of tells you something, which leads into a federal judge's decision. Several years ago, a gentleman by the name of Gordon Price recorded a documentary. It was kind of a solo filming job, you know, basically what a YouTuber does, out there with the camera on his own. Didn't have a camera crew, it was just him and a camera. And a portion of this documentary was recorded at the Yorktown battle site in out on the East Coast. And when the National Park Service saw that, well, they notified him that, you know, he either paid that $1,000 fine or went to jail. And so he got a lawyer. And of course, the National Park Service says, okay, never mind. But don't do it again. You'll get fined. Well, unlike everybody else, Gordon and his lawyer decided, you know what? If we let this go, it's just going to keep happening. So they pursued it. And it ended up in federal courts. And the federal judge said, National Park Service can't do this. So, and I mean, the federal...
When was this?
It wasn't actually just... It was after the YouTubers paid their fine. If I remember, got my timeline correct.
Okay.
It was actually within the last couple of months that this judgment was passed down.
Oh, wow.
And...
So things might be changing.
Yeah, well, they're going to have to, because as the rule is written in the National Park Service, it cannot be enforced. And the judge agreed that, you know, steps needed to be taken to protect our resources, you know, the national parks, and, you know, to protect the visitors from, you know.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah. But the way everything was worded and the way it was just kind of generic, I guess. Anybody with a camera can get this fine, is basically how it was.
So can people now get refunds?
No, I doubt that.
I wonder if they tried. I bet they could.
I don't know. But it's encouraging that somebody stepped in and you know, took this where it needed to be taken, and then even more encouraging that we have a federal judge that, you know, used a little bit of real thinking, I guess.
Common sense, yeah.
But so the National Park Service is going to have to change the way it's written, and they are, because I mean,
what do you mean they're going to change it where they can?
I don't think they are.
Sue people?
I think.
Or they're going to make it clear that, okay, you can't get sued.
Yeah, well,
as long as you don't harass people.
I think they're going to make it clear that this is for large scale production.
Okay, that's cool.
So, one of the photojournalist organizations, I can't remember which one, forgive me, but they suggest, if you're going to be recording video in a national park, to carry with you this judge's ruling. Because, you know, not all the park rangers are aware of it. So if you have that ruling in your pocket, you can go, here, now leave me alone, I'm busy.
Do you want to be in the video? I bet they retreat quickly.
But it's very interesting, and I'm happy. I mean, like I said the last time, it doesn't impact us. We don't make money on these videos, and, you know, even if we got to a point where we did, we would just not monetize the videos with the national parks in them. But we don't have to go through that song and dance now. At least for now. We'll see how National Park Service redoes it. I'm going to be keeping an eye on it because it does impact us.
Right.
So.
And I think we mentioned before, I mean, what you see in a video is completely different than what you see in person. Yeah. The enormity of it. When we saw Mount Rushmore, you can't, I don't care how many videos or pictures you've seen, no matter how many beautiful pictures from well-known photographers, when you see it in person, it's different. It's the enormity, the depth perception, the size. So
like Grand Canyon.
Absolutely.
I mean, for us, you know, the Grand Canyon looked like an oil painting when we were standing on the rim.
Yep.
I mean, our brains just could not take in all that information, and you just don't get that feeling when you look at a photograph or a video.
Right.
So, yeah, it's a good thing.
Right. I agree.
Well, we had to stop having fun.
I'm still having fun.
Yeah. She needed her glasses, so she remembered she needed them. It's like, well, we better go get them, otherwise you're going to end up at the place with 2 ankle biters tugging on you the whole time you're getting them. So
let's talk about the grandsons that I nanny.
Ankle biters. Electric RVs.
I saw you doing some research in those.
Interesting topic. I mean, all the politics, the climate change stuff, all of that, push it aside for a moment. Just take it out of your head for a minute. I mean, this is progress. This is innovation. We're going from one type of fuel to another type of fuel. And
it's like going from typewriters to computers.
Yeah. And it's interesting. I mean, you're seeing electric vehicles more often now. I mean, there's a couple of Teslas up at work.
Are there?
Yeah. And you know,
you guys get paid good, don't you?
You know it. And you know, Chevrolet announced just a week or two ago that they are going. Their goal is to have an electric fleet, a completely electric fleet by 2035. So that's 14 years.
Like that's all they sell, or that's a choice?
It. That is all they want to. That they want to.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we're going electric. I mean, it's
you can
just,
kick, you can scream, but it's going to happen anyway.
So that did get me curious. I mean, when GM announced that, it kind of had me curious about electric RVs. I mean, because, you know, kind of the Achilles heel of electric right now, other than cold weather, batteries don't do so good, is how far you can drive. And just by the nature of the recreational vehicle, you know, we drive them a long ways, and we go places where
there's not many gas stations.
Places to hook up to electricity, you know, to the charging stations. You know, there's not a huge network of charging stations now.
I meant gas stations as all-encompassing, like whatever you need it for.
So it's interesting. There are Class Bs out there that are electric, mainly overseas, over in Europe. Winnebago, back in 2016 or 17, I think, Winnebago actually worked with Ford, and they have an F53 electric chassis. And that F53 chassis is what the Class A motorhomes ride on. It's not available for public consumption right now.
Consumption? We're going to eat them?
Maybe. But that in itself is interesting. Tesla has an 18-wheeler, a semi-truck. Now this one is the most intriguing because they have 2 models of this 18-wheeler. That one of them is 300-mile range, the other one's a 500-mile range.
Oh.
Now that's an unloaded range, so you know you have to assume that the loaded range is going to be less than that. But I mean,
does it also affect, like, going uphill? Like, I mean, does that affect this? Like gas mileage, it does. Just
you know, I don't know how. I don't know if the environment, the wind,
terrain,
the uphill, the terrain, all that. I don't know how it impacts
electric
mileage on electric, but that's an interesting thing to look into. But I mean, if they were to take that technology that they use in their semi and convert it to a mobile home or a motor home, that would be interesting because, you know, most of the full-timers I follow on YouTube, 250 miles is about their max for a day of travel. So that would work for them. Not so much for the family vacation type thing, because most of us dads out there in the world, it's like, how far can we get in a day?
Yeah. And then there's like people take their RVs to like Alaska and they have to go through Canada and that horrible road, and I don't know how many places there are to stop.
Yeah. So it's interesting, but it's coming. I mean, these things are going to improve as time goes on. We're going to see a larger network of charging stations. We're going to see these electric vehicles have a longer range. I mean, Elon Musk is a stubborn individual, and if he gets something in his head, he's going to do everything possible to get it done. And so, I mean, he's already downsizing the battery, how big the batteries are. You know, it's almost a 50% weight loss, which I could use. But
well, I mean, everything gets smaller. I mean, cell phones.
Yeah.
You know, computers, they compact.
Yeah, that cell phone is a computer from 1995.
Yeah.
Probably
Sure.
more powerful than that. But yeah, it's interesting. It's coming. What do you guys think of that? I mean, what is your thoughts on it? And like I said earlier, let's push politics and climate change aside. What are your thoughts on the actual concept of an electric vehicle?
What are your thoughts? I'm kind of excited, cautiously. Like, I can see pros and cons.
Yeah, I mean, like with everything, there's pros and cons. But
how do you feel?
If they were to provide me a motorhome that had the range and there was a network of charging stations, I would go with it. Because, let's face it, gasoline motors are on their way out. I mean, they're going to be around for a long time. There's no way they're going to be able to push them out tomorrow.
It's going to take a long time before it's cost effective to work on electric motors and stuff, though.
Well, there's a lot of longevity in those.
Okay.
But before I get off on all that, you know what, guys? If you want to hear more about electric vehicles, electric RVs, I can do a video and we can discuss everything that I've learned. I'm not by any means an expert at it, but I've done a lot of research on it, and there's some interesting things in there and some, interesting sidebars to talk about. But if you're interested, let us know down below in the comments and we'll put it together. I mean, why not? It's an intriguing topic. But I think we're going to have to wrap this day up. As much as we'd like to head south and see more snow, it's melting. I mean, it was like 42 degrees earlier. Now we're getting back into normal Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Where it's,
I think like 56 is the normal right now. Isn't that crazy? It feels like a heat wave today.
It does. I'm walking around in my t-shirt and not cold, and it's 42 degrees outside. Thought about taking the top off.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Let us know below your thoughts on electronic vehicles and all that good stuff, and hit the like button if you enjoyed this different type of video we did today. And if you're not subscribed, heck, why not? It's free. It's not intrusive. Just hit that subscribe button, and we will catch you down the trail.
See you later.